take me away from home. Show me all the places I've never known. And we'll chase the night. Race all of these broken dreams in flight. And we'll fly.
Alrighty, welcome to the Reverie Esports. This is not a regular open, this is a buy-in. This is our, at the end of the month, buy-in for July. This is the first time we're doing this kind of thing. I'm your caster, Effect FX. You just call me Effect or James, I'll answer to either. I will be casting alone at least for this first round. And things are happening fairly quickly. It's one above facing off once again against NCSU. North Carolina State University. And bans are coming up pretty quickly. These teams faced off against each other yesterday, actually. And just so we get this out of the way, we are not doing the regular bracket setup because of only 3 teams checked in instead of 4 teams, the minimum we needed for the bracket. So we're doing a round robin instead. And if I'm understanding it correctly, it is a best of 1 round robin, and the team who pulls out the most wins. We have to double check Discord to see if the team with the most points at the end of the round robin will win the whole tournament. Okay, so yes. So basically each team will fight each other at least one time. And that will, the team with the most wins will pull out the title for our buy-in tournament. And once all these bans have come out, we got Talia, Lucian, Shen, Zillion, Hecarim, and Gangplank. First pick for one above, Icy Dragon picking that Sivir for X-Gore. And Gisgard and Pluckin Penguin locking in Karma and Rek'Sai, respectively. Plucked Penguin had a very, very strong game yesterday on Hecarim, having quite a bit of impact that forced bans on it later in the tournament. And his Rek'Sai was his next go-to pick, so imagine securing that for him is definitely going to be worthwhile. I don't recognize Shangdi DMW. I do not believe he was actually in yesterday's tournament. That he was being filled in for by Kool-Aid Guy. We actually did perform quite well. Now, as much as I would love to see Aatrox in one of these tournaments, I doubt it's going to be locked in. Maybe I'm going to be surprised. I am going to be surprised. Wow, that's not what I expected at all. For those of you who don't know, Aatrox is probably my favorite character in the game, but I haven't played in a while. It's been a couple of months, and he's easily one of my most played characters. right next to Vladimir pre-rework. But I haven't, like I said, I just haven't played much. I actually haven't gotten to play the new Vlad all that much. So that's very likely going to be... I want to say it's a top lane Aatrox, but I'm not sure. He can go jungle, and I guess in theory he could go mid, but I probably would not send him mid personally. But what do I know? I'm not quite the player I was a few seasons ago. And they're taking the time with his next pick. They're hovering on the Ezreal. I don't recognize Pure. I believe that is a somebody who is stepping in. And Shadow Vision's hovering on the Gnar. Actually locking it in now that I said hovering. So that's going to be a top lane Gnar. X-Gore hovering on Aurelia. This is a very... I can't imagine that he's going to pick Aurelia here. Yasuo makes more sense to me if he went there. He could go mid lane. But that's still a very, very heavy AD composition. Rise. Rise. I've heard Rise is pretty decent. We've seen him a couple times in these tournaments. Hovering on the Jace now, though, and the Azir. Very unusual lineup so far. What are they doing here? I am confused exactly what one above is trying to do here with their composition. Trundle and Azir. Okay. I was not told. So Aatrox is Nami. Okay, got it. That makes more sense to me. So Aatrox must be a filler. They don't have... I'm guessing Zhangji does not have access to Nami, so Nami is their third pick. That's good to know. Way to disappoint me. I was really hoping to see Aatrox. Maybe someday. I'm not going to blame him for not playing him. No, he is not in the best spot in the world. Azir is Malzahar. Okay. I don't think we actually have seen Malzahar in these tournaments at all. Not since... I'm trying to think here. Nope, not one time since he's been reworked. He's always been banned or not picked. So that's going to be interesting to see. Except that the other team has locked in Malzahar as their mid lane pick. Very, Alrighty. That's fine. So they're gonna trade everything out. Mal's is a Azir. Okay. Way to make things confusing, guys. Really appreciate it. So they're gonna go through the same picks and bans, but basically they're gonna actually, because they know what they'll have, they're gonna just lock in the appropriate champion now. Okay. That's good to know. It feels so awkward talking by myself. I'm just gonna turn on the music, but it'll be very, very quiet. If I can just get it as quiet as possible without being muted, because that is not useful. Guess I'll have to go to my volume. Turn it down nice and quiet. There we go. Okay. So, Icy Dragon in the top lane on Trundle, and he will be facing off against our Giscard on Gnar. Testimony on the Olaf, Pluckin Penguin on Rek'Sai. Shangdi on Malzahar, Shangdi DMW. Shadow Visions on Azir, X-Gore on the Sivir, Pure on the Ezreal, and Kaiser 1 on Nami. And last but certainly not, Henny is going to be playing Karma. Alrighty, so we are entering our... We're actually not quite going to be in 3-minute delay. This is still about 40 seconds till we enter our 3-minute delay. Trying to think here. We'll have to see if one above can avenge themselves from yesterday. Ooh, got something in my eye, sorry. They did end up getting 2-0'd by NCSU late in the day, late in the evening. Very unfortunate. They played very well in the first game, but the second game was kind of, unfortunately, one-sided. We'll have to see if they can turn that around now that they have their main mid laner back. And with that, we're going to enter our 3-minute delay. We will be turning over to a very, very small commercial break, and once we enter the game, then we'll be back. Alrighty, we are in game, our first match of our little buy-in round robin. Teams will be seeing a couple pings coming out of NCSU towards the river, but looks like both teams are spreading out for the standard line of scrimmage, so nothing too surprising. Item choices are about what you'd expect, nothing too surprising, but I do look forward to seeing Malzahar in action here. Not actually had the opportunity to see him played in one of these tournaments. Actually, I don't think I've seen him at all since he's been reworked because I haven't played, but that's irrelevant. Lots of pings going out. I'm assuming they're wanting our guest card to make sure he's paying attention. Maybe he's like, I'm going to go to the bathroom. And like, no, don't do that. That would be terrible to get caught in that situation. A couple pings going on that wards. They do know that the one above does know that the river is warded. Ooh. Henny trying to get a little bit of poke there on the tri-bush, but Gore and Kaiser were not there. They're actually in the little bush right inside the river. And it would appear that both junglers are going to be starting on the north side of the jungle, with Pluck and Penguin starting at Krugs and Testimony starting at blue, both getting assistance from their... Oh, nope. Testimony is not going blue. He's going to start at Gromp. So Gore and Kaiser, they're looking to make sure that Pure and Hanny don't try to sneak Gromp like they did yesterday. I believe it was them. This is the same card, but I don't remember if it was Gore or... I don't remember which side was trying to do Gromp, and the other side stopped them. But Kaiser taking a little poke there from Pure. Pure's being fairly aggressive on the Ezreal. Hanny also showing a lot of aggression, getting that mounted Q out to drop Gore down to about half health. Gore has to definitely be careful here. They do have sustain, thanks to Kaiser on the Nami. But they need to be very, very careful here. Let's see, both junglers slowly making their way through the jungle. They both have their respective north side buffs. And... oh, Handy taking a little poke there, but also returning that poke. Now, Pure stuttering a little bit there with his auto attack, trying to get some attacks onto Kaiser. Ooh, another Mantra Q. Second part does not connect, though. What else are we going to see here? Looks like both junglers... there is a pause, actually. Very interesting. Ooh. Make sure I have my caffeine. Ooh. Let's take this opportunity to look at the CS. Nothing too surprising. Nars naturally, since he has range, is going to have more CS than a Trundle. And we're back! Currently, this director camera really likes this bottom lane. But I would have to say that... I have to say that NCSU has the advantage in this bottom lane currently, but you see that Kaiser and Gore are both very low. Pure has a huge advantage in health here. There's the exhaust, though. Gore forced to use his heal, so that's 2 summoners for nothing. And we do see both junglers are making their way towards the bottom. Actually, no. Pluck and Penguin deciding he wants to head towards the middle, or he's working on Scarab. He's working on Scarab. Okay, that makes more sense now. But he's actually going to back here. Both junglers are going to back. Testimony is already working towards a potion, actually. And he has boots now as well. Icy Dragon is doing alright in that top lane. He is getting poked a little bit here and there. A little bit behind CS, but nothing too major since it has now dropped to a 1 CS difference. Kaiser once again eating that karma poke. Hanny doing a very, very good job harassing and poking away. But other than that, there's not too much going on here. Shangdi having a little bit of a rough time getting poked out by Shadow Visions on that Azir. Ooh, Icy Dragon getting really aggressive. Got the pillar in to lock up Giscard just long enough to get a couple autos in. Ooh, Gazer taking some super poke. Looking to probably max that heal first. The ebb and flow. Ooh, Giscard looking to go Mega Gnar here. Plucking Penguin is here for the gank. And Dragon could be in trouble. He is forced to flash. But here comes Testimony. But Icy Dragon has a fairly low health. And speaking of low health, Shangdi forced to flash away from Shadow Visions on that Azir. Despite all the power we've heard about Malzahar, it would appear that Shadow Vision is having a much easier time applying pressure in that mid lane. He is out CSing Shandy by quite a bit now. And it would appear that is the lane that is going to have the most discrepancy. Because even though the bottom lane is getting harassed very hard for one above, they are keeping up in CS thanks to Sivir's ability to wave clear. But Hanny is now in position to basically zone and suppress them with her Q. His Q. I'm not sure if Hanny is a guy or a girl, but Karma is a girl, so I'm going to call her she. A woman, maybe? Maybe more appropriate? I'm actually not sure how old Karma is. Gore getting a nice little spell shield to block that damage. Mantra Q does not quite land on anything. I see a nice big wave pushing towards the turret. Kaiser taking some more poke, dropping very low. Very much in a position where he's going to need to back here. Here comes Testimony to apply some pressure. I'd very much doubt anything can come of this, though. Kaiser is very low. Gore has no mana. They're going to wave clear very quickly and probably take this opportunity to back. Yep, there it is. Nothing too surprising. Ice Dragon not having too much trouble. He was forced to flash, but he decided to pick up Ninja Tabby as his first item, actually. Looking to reduce some of that Gnar poke. Thanks, especially that combined with Dorn Shield is going to give him some pretty good resistance to auto attacks. But things are still slow. Ooh, excuse me. I'm yawning a little bit. I've slept a lot, but I'm still tired. I don't know why. Looks like both junglers might get into a fight here, though I think it's more likely that Plucking Penguin is going for a gank here. There it is. There is the gank. Shangdi taking a lot of damage here. Oh, here comes Shadow Visions. There's the Shurima Shuffle. Shangdi's in really big trouble here. Uses his ghost to get away. There is the slow by Testimony to prevent the chase. Shangdi once again barely getting away with his life. But Plucking Penguin looking to steal that blue buff, judging from the map. They do lose their blue buff, unfortunately. Testimony clearing out that pink ward. Working on the Gromp now. Pure taking a lot of damage there from the Boomerang Blade. But he is able to Arcane Shift away. Oh, that ultimately comes out and does a lot of damage. Kaiser and Gore very low. Plucking Penguin using his ult to travel towards the bottom side of the map. Icy Dragon's still playing it safe in that top lane. Looking to make sure he builds those resistances and just look to farm. He's keeping up NCS just fine with Giscard on that Gnar. Oh, Shangdi going towards the jungle. He does see the penguin escaping, and he's going to work on clearing out that pink ward. They're going to dive. Testimony using his ult a bit to stop the Gnarl from flipping away, but he took a lot of damage in the process. Very good use of Gnarl ultimate by Giskard, able to push away Icy Dragon to make sure that they couldn't die very easily. Excuse me still. What, Icy Dragon once hit this turret or Giskard? Not sure which. Definitely Giskard. Okay. But not sure if that was worth it. He's going to work on that pink ward. Make sure he maintains vision control. No. See Handy still poking away, still doing annoying support things. Nothing too surprising. Shandy's in huge trouble though. Here's this Streamer Shuffle able to push him away from his own turret, and then Plucking Penguin coming in to assist with his own CC and damage. You see Icy Dragon did take quite a bit of damage there. His Ninja Tabby and the Dorn Shield aren't going to be super effective against Gnar's third hit proc of maximum health damage. As Ninja Tabby only is affected by physical damage generated on auto attacks. Looks like Giskard is going to be working on what I imagine to be... Does Frozen Mallet still build out of a pickaxe? I'm actually not sure now. I would have to double check that. Sounds right. I know it built out of that at some point, but it's been a while. So let's see if he can use on that path. Where Icy Dragon has picked up the Jerome's Fist. So that could be built into any number of items with attack damage and health. And my armchair... it's falling apart. That's not good. Okay. Shandy getting a little bit of poke in. Penguin is not going to be too concerned. It's going to clear it out. Start once again working on his own jungle. Well, only one kill in. No just one dragon and no turrets, and we already seeing a 2k gold lead. And Shadow Visions is having a much better game in this mid lane in comparison to Shangdi. There's the combo. Testimony popping his ghost to try and chase possibly, but Shadow Visions was able to get away quite cleanly. Testimony's still hanging out though. Not entirely sure where he needs to go, I imagine. And back in the bottom lane, nothing surprising is happening. I still think the advantage is going to Pure and Henny in comparison to Gore and Kaiser 1. But it appears to not be by too much. Well, there's the annoying Gnar things. Ice Dragon able to get in and proc that Grass the Undying, but he's still taking a lot of damage in the process. Ooh, Gore getting a very good attack onto Pure, able to drop him quite low. Excuse me. Let's see. Penguin pinging that blue buff. It's up. We're looking to possibly steal it again, but here's Testimony coming into the bot lane. Able to force both flashes from Pure and Henny. Actually, no, Pure did not use a flash. He just arcane shifted. But because of that, is going to be the first tower of the game going down to a 4v2. And we see in the top lane that Giskard and Penguin are going to try and return the favor. Shandy in trouble once again. He's getting really zoned out very hard by Shadow Visions on that Azir. And there's Testimony getting poked out by the Azir soldiers now. Shadow is he is able to take the blue buff for himself. denying the opportunity for the enemy team to take it and give it to Shangdi. I'm pronouncing it right, Shangdi. Ice Dragon has actually decided that he wants to go down to the bot lane and probably get some farm there. Oof, excuse me. We do see that Ritual has gone down thanks to Penguin and Giskard on that Gnar. I imagine that it went to Gnar. Henny is going to get eaten a little bit there, but not by too much. Oh, excuse me, my hair is getting in the way. There is the Rek'Sai ultimate, going towards the mid lane. Shangti's still getting poked out really hard by Shadow Visions on that Azir. Shadow Visions having the Gnasher's Tooth now. Whew. Yep. See Testimony wanting to defend this pink ward, but Penguin is going to ignore him for the most part. And here comes Shadow Visions to save the day. And it's actually forced away by Testimony on that Olaf. Yep, and he is getting into a little duel with Gore there. But here comes Pure to save the day. Ooh, but not quite enough to finish off Gore. Gore able to get out of the way just fine. Shadow Vision's on it here, looking to clear out some of those waves, but he is actually going to go back here. He's actually quite ahead. He's at 50 CS lead currently. That's pretty significant. You also see that Giskard has a very slight lead as well in that top lane, but that does make sense. Gnar naturally having quite a bit of range and actually not terrible wave clear. Not is significantly better than Icy Dragon's Trundle, who has no wave clear until he buys a Tiamat, which he has, working towards that Titanic Hydra most likely. Both junglers having purchased their Cinder Hulks, they're going to be looking to be fairly durable. And that is going to be the second dragon of the game, started up by NCSU. But one above, looking for opportunity counter, cannot. They're able, he actually gets taken quite quickly. This is a very, very slow game. It's 17 minutes in, and there's only been one kill. One above being very, very cautious on how they engage. I'm actually going to need to stand up because nothing's happening. Ooh, Testimony getting some accident. Shadow Vision's wanting to get in there somehow, but... Oof. That is going to be another turret going down. So that's 3 turrets. And Gore popping on the hunt. Pure is able to get away from the tidal wave. Shadow Vision is able to zone out Shangdi once again. That's rough. It would appear that Shangdi needs a little assistance in that mid lane. So he's not quite able to clear out the waves as quickly as Shadow Vision's on that Azir. Shadow Vision's not interested in fighting at all, just wanting to poke. But here comes Testimony to give him a love tap with an E. Testimony eating a little damage there. Ooh, excuse me. Yep. Hey, getting a little poke there. Gore clearing out some wards. And Testimony and Penguin having the standoff with both supports near them. my. Ooh, Shandy could be in trouble here. Here comes Penguin. Able to flash in and knock up Shandy. Definitely having a bit of a struggle dealing with that Azir, who is now almost 70 CS ahead of Shandy. Easily having the highest in the CS game currently. Nope. Ice Dragon looking to go in, but he does get knocked up by Penguin, who denying the opportunity to dive in on the Hanny. But Hanny is going to go down, possibly. There's the exhaust, there's the flash, able to get away cleanly. Ice Dragon's still in a lot of trouble here. Penguin and Shadow Vision's chasing him down. But here comes Testimony, popping the Ghost, able to finish off Penguin, chasing down Shadow. Shadow not quite able to get away. There is the Azir turret down on the ground. Giskard in Mega Gnar, not quite able to do much here. But he is going to go for it. He does land the stun on the Gore. Gore could be in trouble here. But he is going to be back to Mini Gnar and is going to get CC'd up by Shandy with the with his ultimate, whose name I have completely forgotten. And there is the Azir turret going down. So that was actually not terrible. I don't quite remember the whole total, but it did end up for at least 3 kills for one above, and they're going to allow them to clip this turret pretty easily. Oh, but here comes Penguin. Not quite enough to knock up Shandy, though. I'm not entirely sure what prevented that. I'm not sure if his passive denies CC. I'd have to double check that. I know it stops damage, or it reduces damage, I should say, not stops. That's obviously incorrect. Gazer clearing out some wards. Ward clearing, always exciting. Well, Shadow Vision is on to Azir, still completely terrifying. Testimony donating that blue buff away to Shandy, who is in dire need of gold and assistance. He's having quite a hard time being bullied around. Penguin and Hanny working on clearing out some wards, maintaining their own vision control. And with that, we are back to once again a slow game with a very, very slight lead to NCSU with that, I'm not sure I'd call 3 almost 4k gold a slight lead, but could definitely be significantly worse. They're 3 for 3 currently, they're even, though one above has not picked up a single dragon yet. And though they're seeing a dragon in the next 40 seconds, it remains to be seen whether or not they actually take it. One above looking to steal it, and they do manage to secure that for themselves. Somebody's still clearing out wards. Both teams are quite consistent on working on ward clearing. Yeah. And with that, Penguin once again able to clear out a ward. Wish there was a ward kill counter. Be very, very good. Or a ward placement counter, that helps too. But looks like NCSU able to secure a 3rd dragon for themselves, while one above is actually working towards pushing down the turret. Yep. And there might be an engage here. Hanny looking to slow him up. NCSU able to defend their tier 1 turret, but there's Wild on the Hunt being popped. They're working towards their way towards that tier 2 top turret, and we might see a base race here, maybe? No. It would appear that NCSU is not interested in that. They're going to go ahead and back. I'm very unlikely they're going to be able to stop this turret from going down because it is melting very quickly. But it would appear that Pure and Henny are staying in the mid lane to attempt to kill that turret while Shouting Day is here to say hi and say no, you cannot do that. Now, his combo did not do much damage. He's actually could be in danger here, but he's doing a lot of damage to Pure. Pure probably able to get away. There's a fight in the top lane. Testimony popping Ragnarok, but not quite able to do too much. currently a 2-for-0 essentially, with Shandy dying in that mid lane, and a turret is also going down. Tier 2 mid turret for blue side is down. And it would appear that Pure and Handy are working on an inhibitor turret now. Who Testimony backing in kind of a bad spot, not able to do anything in front of that. Shadow Vision's able to pick up another kill with the assistance of Giskard. Actually, that was backward. Giskard picked up the kill. And do see Baron being worked on by Penguin, Giskard, and Shadow Visions now. Definitely has the potential to be very useful. And that is going to be Baron buff going over to Team NCSU. I had to say NE. I'm going to blame the tiredness. Now, one above, definitely falling behind here. They're now, yep, about 6k gold behind. Mission was 7k. Wow. Now, to be fair, NCSU did just gain 3 kills. Okay, so that puts them 3 kills ahead. Even so, for a 26-minute game in an amateur league, that is still pretty impressive that no team members have really died for no reason. What that remains to be seen, but you do see Testimony could be in trouble here. Does pop his ult, able to get away quite nicely. But Baroned up minions are barreling down that midway. They want that inhibitor turret since it is open. And not too much. Pluck Penguin sending out a Prey Seeker, I believe it is called, to say hi. Since he's not building AP, it does not do much damage at this point. Ooh, there's a possible fight here. Dragon forced to use his ultimate to make sure that he doesn't die. Testimony diving into the backline, using Ragnarok to try and do some damage, but he is melting under that damage from Shadow Visions. Giskard diving on in, looking to do a lot of damage to Gore. His Megadar is about to pop. Puri gets in, able to finish off Gore. And he's also able to pick up Dragon. I didn't even notice that. And with the burned up minions, with 3-0, make that 4-0 because Shadow Vision's diving on in to finish off Kaiser. Shandy still alive, but he's by himself. He's getting dived on. The Streamer Shovel not quite able to grab him, though. But he still did end up taking enough damage to get picked up. That is going to be game 1 and going to NCSU. One above making a valiant attempt to take this game. But unfortunately, the slow pace did end up going in favor of NCSU. And with that, we're going to be moving on to our second game shortly. Let me make sure that window gets transferred properly. There we go. Ooh, excuse me. Yes and yes. Let me see here. So I'm not entirely sure who's going to be around 2 just yet. You have to give me a second. Okay. Now's a good time for music, I imagine. Once I have my tournament code, that'll help me in assisting who we're going to be playing against. Just to make sure that the everyone knows. Let me see, refresh the bracket. Here it is. Besides one above and NCSU Prime, 420 Help Me is the other team that is going to be in this tournament. Alrighty. I wonder if it's the same tournament code. Let me double check that. It is not. Okay. And the music suddenly stopped and changed something else. Okay, that's fine. As long as it's... Yes, it is no copyright. Alright. Alright. There's the next tournament code. Excellent.
That's it. Back on the stream, everybody.
Yes, Wilf will be joining me to co-cast for the rest of the evening, I think. Not sure.
Yes, I will be.
Alrighty.
We got in pretty darn early, so I have to contact Riot Games to get our club tag changed.
Ah. Okay, it would seem to be... Which team is facing off here? I'm not sure yet.
It's going to be 420 Help Me is going to be on, it looks like the red side. Let me double check. Yeah, 420 Help Me is on the red side. One above will be on, oh, I'm sorry, North Carolina State University Prime will be on the blue side.
By the way, I can hear the stream on your end.
Yeah, gotta mute that. Bloopers, everybody, bloopers.
There we go. Significantly better. Okay, let me take this opportunity to go ahead and fix the tags in the lobby.
All right, I'm all set and ready to go and get this shadowcasting on the road after some good old social media attention.
Alrighty. So currently that puts NCSU with 1 point. They'll have to fight off against 420 Help Me after this game, I imagine.
Basically how Battlefy has set up their round robin system. It's similar to soccer, where a win will get you 3 points, and a tie will get you 1. It'll also get you 0. Obviously, there's going to be no ties. Basically, everybody started off with 1 win because of the 3 rounds. Each team gets a bye in at least one of those 3 rounds. So North Carolina State University Prime leads with 6 points in first place. They're 2-0. And then one above is 1-1, and then 420 Help Me is 1-0.
Alrighty.
So right now, North Carolina State Prime has 6 points, one above is 3, and 420 Help Me has 3. So everybody walking away with some points at least here.
Okay. Well, while we wait for everybody to get in lobby, this is a prime opportunity to go and take a small, tiny commercial break. Once we enter Champions Select, we will be back.
Of course. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Be right back.
living. Finally awake and living. Yeah, yeah. The pressure inside was building. I felt under attack, and now my mind's attacked, and I've chosen my path. I've chosen my path. Oh, what's this? I finally read this helplessness.
Hold on just a moment. I gotta do one thing. Where is there? It is. Got it. Oh, for some reason Chrome's trying to open up. We are back. Sorry.
And Champions League.